day everyone, my name is Jillian Del Santos, studying at Zamboanga Peninsula Polytechnic State University, taking the course of Bachelor of Technical Vocational Teacher Education, major in Heating, Ventilating, Air Conditioning. So today, I'm gonna be discussing to you about the auto air conditioning refrigerants. So what are the refrigerant are using in auto air conditioning? So we have here the three types of refrigerant that are mostly common use in auto air conditioning. But before anything else, we will discuss first or we will define what is refrigerant. A refrigerant is a gaseous substance used in AC system to enabling air conditioner to produce and push cold air into your cabin. It circulates through the entire system, changing from liquid to a gas, and the cycle will start again. So that are the purpose of refrigerant in AC system. Many drivers don't realize the importances of air conditioning refrigerant in keeping their cars running well and how the proper maintenance in this refrigerant. So not all the cars are using the same type of refrigerant. Take note of that. AC refrigerant, no, we have three examples of the most common type of refrigerant that are using in auto cars air conditioning. So we have the first. First example of refrigerant is the R12. Until 1994, most autos use R12 or the name brand Freon as the refrigerant for the air conditioning system. However, this refrigerant was found to be damaging the environment. So it was banned and replaced with R13 4A. So this kind of refrigerant, no, this R12 is the most this is the most common refrigerant during in 1994 or the name brand Freon. However, this refrigerant is scientists discovered that it will be using this kind of refrigerant was damaging the environment. So in that way, it was banned and replaced by R13 4A. After defining the types of refrigerant that are using auto air conditioning, so now let's proceed to the sign that you need to replace your refrigerant into your auto air conditioning. You need to inspect first before mo ito i-replace. You can do this at least once a year. Ipa-check mo yung car mo if may problems na ba or anything. So now, let's define what are the signs. So the first one is warm air coming from the vents. Warm air coming from the vents. Second is the unusual noises when you turn on the AC. The last is old smell coming from AC. If you, kapag yung mga unusual noises or old smell na naaamoy mo sa auto air conditioning mo, so sign na to na dapat i-replace mo na yung refrigerant mo or baka may problems na. Diba? You need to first to inspect if ever na may problem na talaga, and that's the time na i-replace mo na talaga yung refrigerant sa auto air conditioning. Let's proceed to the other example, which are the R13 4A refrigerant. When replacing Freon, R13 4A became the most widely used refrigerant in cars today. But similar to R12 also, it can harm to the environment. This is why scientists continue to search for improved efficiency and eco-friendly refrigerant. This R13 4A refrigerant, it is similar also to R12 refrigerant. It can be harm to the environment. So scientists need to continue to search for improved efficiency and eco-friendly refrigerant. So, example of auto air conditioning refrigerant are the HFO 123 or the tetrafluoropropane refrigerant. In search of something better for our planet was developed and it was being used for many years model of vehicles. So scientists found this tetrafluoropropane was the better and efficiency and eco-friendly refrigerants for our planet. So these refrigerants are using in many years and other models of vehicles, and it was developed by the scientists, and it is more better and efficiency than other refrigerant.
What is a manifold gauge set? A manifold gauge is a tool that lets you see inside the AC system. Not literally, but in terms of pressure and refrigerant levels. It's like a stethoscope for HVAC. Here's what a standard set includes. 2 gauges, blue for low pressure, suction side, red for high pressure, discharge side. 3 hoses. Blue hose connects to the low pressure port. Red hose connects to the high pressure port. Yellow hose, used for charging, recovery, or vacuuming. Valves, one under each gauge, used to open or close refrigerant flow. Manifold block, the center body where everything connects and refrigerant is directed. Some gauges also have a sight glass, a small transparent window where you can see refrigerant moving. Note, not all systems use the same type of refrigerant. Before using a gauge, make sure it's compatible with your system, like R22 or R10-410A. Understanding the system before you connect. Before we even connect the manifold, it's important to understand the basic parts of the AC unit. The suction line, low pressure side, is the thicker, cold pipe. The discharge line, high pressure side, is the thinner, warm pipe. The refrigerant moves through the system in a closed loop. Pressure and temperature constantly change depending on the part of the cycle. Your manifold gauge lets you tap into the system and measure these pressure points. How to use a manifold gauge, step by step. Let's go step by step through the most common use case. Checking refrigerant pressure on a working AC system. Step 1. Turn on the AC system. Let the AC run for about 5 to 10 minutes. You want it operating under load, not just idling. Step 2. Connect the blue hose, connected to the low-pressure port, cold pipe, on your outdoor unit. Do not open the valve yet. Step 3. Check the pressure. Look at the blue gauge. It should show you the pressure in PSI as well as the corresponding saturation temperature for your refrigerant type. For R22, a normal pressure is around 60 to 70 psi when running. Under 60 means your refrigerant level might be low. Over 75 to 80 could mean overcharging or a restriction in the system. Pro tip: never take readings when the system is off. If you do, the pressures on both sides will equalize and give you false information, usually around 150 psi. Adding refrigerant, the safe way. Now, if your gauge shows a low reading, and you're confident the system needs refrigerant, here's what to do. Step 1. Connect the yellow hose to your R22 refrigerant tank. Step 2. Purge the line. Open the blue valve slightly to let refrigerant push air out of the yellow hose. You'll hear a hiss, that's okay, then close it. Step 3. Open the refrigerant tank. Let the refrigerant flow toward the manifold. Step 4. Slowly open the blue valve. Refrigerant will flow into the low pressure port. Watch the pressure rise. Step 5. Stop at 65 to 70 psi. That's your target. Don't go over. Close the valve, shut off the tank, and disconnect. Important: always charge refrigerant in gas form into the low side unless instructed otherwise. And always wear safety goggles and gloves. Why pressure matters. You might be wondering, why does this number matter? Well, here's a simple breakdown. If the pressure is too low, the system might freeze up. Ice can form on the evaporator coils. If the pressure is too high, it can cause overheating or even damage the compressor. Each pressure reading corresponds to a temperature. For example, 60 psi on R22 equals roughly 1 degree Celsius, which is just above freezing. That's ideal. If you drop below 60, refrigerant could freeze in the coil and clog the system. So reading your pressure is not just about checking refrigerant, it's about protecting the entire system.
So that's all for today's discussion. I hope may na-learn sila sa types of refrigerant that are using in auto air conditioning. So that's all. Thank you for listening.